What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I am your host, Alex Leak, and this is the 2019 Houston Texans season preview. And let's get right into it. Starting off with the Texans at the coaching positions, where Tim Kelly takes over as offensive coordinator. He's been a long time coach for the Texans in the different offensive areas, and Bill O'Brien will still be calling the plays for the Texans. So I expect their offense to still be pretty good. Looking at the draft, they take Titus Howard, tackle, in the first round out of Alabama State, trying to shore up that offensive line that allowed Deshaun Watson, franchise quarterback Deshaun Watson, to get sacked a league-high 62 times in 2018. If you remember, at one point, Deshaun Watson couldn't fly across country to the next game, so he had to travel by bus to get to, or not by bus, but by like a motorhome or, comfortable driving across country to get to the next game. So that he could, because his ribs hurt too much. So you got to do a lot better protecting Deshaun Watson. Got to keep him healthy. Sure, he made the playoffs last year, but all that pounding had to take its toll on Deshaun Watson, and he wasn't very good in that postseason game against the Colts. So you got to protect him better, get him feeling better towards the end of the year, and maybe this team can go further in the postseason. So I like the pick of going tackle in the first round. In the second round, they go corner Lonnie Johnson. And Lonnie Johnson already becoming a fan favorite of Houston after a big hit in joint practice between the Texans and Packers, where he laid out Jay Sternberger. And it got everybody fired up. Packer fans weren't happy. Packer players weren't happy. Texan players were loving it. Some good early season drama. So I like to see it. Preseason week 1 starts tomorrow night, so it's just starting to get good here. So the season's around the corner. But that's one quick way to become a fan favorite, is to lay a hit like that in training camp and practices. So good for Lonnie Johnson. He could be a solid piece to this Texans roster going forward. So hopefully that can work out for him, but a good start nonetheless. Also in the second round, they took tackle Max Sharping out of Northern Illinois. They also took tight end Kahale Warring out of San Diego State. And in the fifth round, they took defensive end Charles Omenihu out of Texas. So I give them a B for their drafts, and it's obvious they're trying to shore up the line, give better protection to Deshaun Watson. You see, they also brought in Matt Khalil out of retirement. Matt Khalil had retired, was no longer on the Panthers. Now he's coming out of retirement to join the Texans. So you got Matt Khalil and Titus Howard, as well as Seantrell Henderson at the tackle position. And you got Senio Calamete, Zach Fulton, former Chief, and Nick Martin. So it should be a much better offensive line. Hopefully they protect Deshaun Watson and give him time to get to the ball, to these weapons. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, widely considered the best wide receiver in football by a lot of the fans and by Madden. They give him a 99 overall rating, making ridiculous catches all throughout the year last year. He was a human highlight film. So give Watson more time. Let him get the ball to the weapons like DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. Getting Will Fuller back after that major injury last year. I believe it was a torn ACL. So hopefully he's ready to go come week 1. KK Kuti as well. Solid receiver. And I like these young guys. DeAndre Carter could be a guy to look out for. And Steven Mitchell Jr., former USC Trojan. So they do have some weapons. Also, they have Jordan Thomas at tight end, Jordan Atkins at tight end, Darren Fells brought over from the Browns, and the before mentioned Kahale Warring drafted in the third round. Um, the reason you can't allow Deshaun Watson to get hurt is not only is he a game changer, he's very difficult to defend, and he's the franchise quarterback, but look at who they have backing him up. You got A.J. McCarron and Joe Webb. Not ideal backups, so you don't want them coming on the field in the regular season. Going to the running back spot, you got Lamar Miller, who's a household name and a big-time running back, but after that, who do you have? Karan Higdon, former Michigan Wolverine, but he's buried in the depth chart. Tawan Jones, former Bill, down there in the depth chart. Right now they got Buddy Howell and Josh Ferguson in the 2 and 3 depth chart. This site does. I don't know who the hell Buddy Howell or Josh Ferguson is, so we'll see what the Texans do at running back. But Lamar Miller, definitely the bell cow. Looking at defense, DJ Reader, Brandon Dunn are the nose tackles. You got J.J. Watt, Angelo Blackson. I don't know a lot about, but J.J. Watt's a beast. Then you got the linebackers. You got a great linebacking core. Whitney Merciless, Bernardrick McKinney, Jadeveon Clowney, and Zach Cunningham. Also Davin Bellamy off the bench. Georgia standout linebacker. They need to get him on the field because I think he's got plenty of upside. Going to the secondary, Jonathan Joseph, Bradley Roby, brought over from the Broncos. For a couple years ago, they got Aaron Colvin from the Jags, Body Calhoun, Johnson Batamosi. So they got some weapons at corner. Tashawn Gibson and Justin Reed at safety. Jaleel Aday at safety as well. So they're deep on defense. I think you got to trust this defense to get the job done again. So can the offense carry its weight? And when you got Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller, and DeAndre Hopkins right there, you got to have a good offense. Jordan Thomas, an up-and-coming tight end, taken in the 6th round, but he's a weapon. And then not even mentioning Will Fuller, KK Cootie, guys like that. So the Texans have a high upside going into 2019. I have them making the playoffs, going somewhere around 10-6 in a very tough division. I've got the Colts and the Jags making the playoffs. The Jags should be a lot better, so Texans have their work cut out for them. They did lose safety Tyrann Mathieu, corners Kevin Johnson and Kareem Jackson, defensive tackle Christian Covington, safety Andre Hall, running back Andre Hall, running back Alfred Blue, corner Kayvon Webster, and backup quarterback Brandon Weeden. So they lost a decent amount. Definitely losing Kayvon Webster, Kareem Jackson, and Kevin Johnson at the corner spot. But, as I mentioned, Jonathan Joseph, Bradley Roby, Aaron Colvin, and Body Calhoun, they got decent corners, so they should be all right there. The biggest concern absolutely has to be offensive line. You can't allow Deshaun Watson to get an injury like that where he can't fly. Really makes it tough throughout the regular season to win games when your franchise quarterback's hurt and banged up, even if he can play. So protect Watson, and who knows how far you can go. The Texans did fire their GM, Brian Gaine, and will look to be doing quite a few people playing the GM role this year. You're going to have Chris Olsen, this is the interim GM, but Bill O'Brien is doing the GM role, and others on the team are doing the GM role. Jack Easterby, guys like that. So, a lot of moving parts in Houston. No set GM. So, it's going to be an interesting year for the Texans to see if they can get back to the postseason, win a playoff game, and see how far they can go. In a tough division, let alone a tough conference with the Patriots, Chiefs, Steelers, teams like that. So I'm looking forward to it. Week 1 of the preseason starts tomorrow night. Week 1 of the season, can't wait. 5 or 4 weeks away now. And it's going to be good. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I think Deshaun Watson has a big year and could be if he's protected, Deshaun Watson could be in the MVP discussions this year. So we'll see if he can get it done. I'm a big fan of Watson, going back to his days at Clemson. A big year for the Texans coming up. We'll see if they can get into the postseason and keep improving year by year. Go another step further, get that first postseason win, and keep on moving along. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to tune in again next week. I'll keep them coming out. I'll keep the player interviews coming as well. And stay tuned. Thanks, guys, and peace out.